Welcome back, microbiologists. In this little video drawing exercise, I'm going to outline the nitrogen cycle for us. Okay, so nitrogen is a very important substance for life on Earth, certainly, because it makes up the part of the 96% of all living biomass, along with carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. It's the least of these four in terms of that 96%, but it's present in all nucleic acids. It's present in all proteins, so it's an absolutely essential part of life on Earth. And it's interesting for a number of reasons. For one, nitrogen as an element can go into many different redox states. Referring to how its electron configuration. It can go anywhere from a redox state of -3 all the way up to +5. And the fact that it can do that makes it an important energy source as well as a building material. It can function as an electron acceptor. And this is typically done through anaerobic respiration. And that gives us species such as nitrate and nitrite. And I just want to indicate that nitrate is a big important player because here our nitrogen is has covalent bonds to 3 oxygen atoms. It has a negative charge, so it is as oxidized as nitrogen is going to get. So as nitrate, it is fully oxidized. So nitrogen can also serve as an electron donor. And this is done through chemolithotrophy. And when it donates electrons, it does this as nitrate or as ammonium. And ammonium, you'll notice that we've got nitrogen here with 4 hydrogen atoms and a positive charge. So in this state, nitrogen is fully reduced. So that's the redox state of the -3. The fully oxidized nitrate state, that's the +5. So that's a pretty big swing. Okay, so the biggest source of nitrogen, a potential source of nitrogen to life on Earth, is the atmospheric nitrogen gas. And nitrogen gas is tricky stuff because you've got 2 nitrogen atoms that are triple covalently bonded to each other. So in order to get it to do anything other than just be nitrogen gas, we've got to snip 3 different covalent bonds. So that's kind of a tough act. And there's not many organisms, well, I shouldn't say that. There are a number of organisms that can do it, and we absolutely rely upon those organisms for this ability to take nitrogen gas and convert it into a biologically available form like ammonia. This is a reduction reaction. And this process is called Nitrogen fixation. So just like with carbon dioxide and carbon fixation, we're taking an inorganic form of the element and incorporating it into biomass. We're doing the same thing here. So in both of these cases, that's what we mean by fixation, is we're taking something that's not biologically available and converting it into something that is. And there are a number of organisms, like I mentioned, that are capable of performing nitrogen fixation. The only eukaryote that's capable of performing nitrogen fixation without a symbiont, a prokaryotic symbiont, are humans. Because a fellow named Fritz Haber invented a process now called the Haber-Bosch process, which can consume huge amounts of energy and pressure to turn nitrogen plus hydrogen gas into ammonium, which is the source of a lot of our synthetic fertilizers. But ammonia can be converted into basically everything else. So all of those things that I mentioned, nucleic acid, proteins, essentially the stuff that we use. When organisms die, we don't hold on to our nitrogen after we die. Not so much. Through the process of decay and mineralization, which essentially means that we are decomposing organic biomass into simpler inorganic compounds. We get ammonium. Remember, ammonium is our most reduced form of nitrogen. So nowhere to go but through oxidation. And there's a couple of ways that we can do that. One is converting ammonium into nitrite, NO2 minus. And this is an oxidation process. And this is a type of chemolithotrophy. Using ammonium as an electron donor. And sometimes this is referred to as the first part of a step known as nitrification. Over here, I'm going to put nitrate. Remember that nitrate is our fully oxidized species of nitrogen. So there are organisms that can oxidize nitrite to form nitrate. And this is sometimes called the second part of nitrification. But there are other organisms that can skip over that step and go directly from ammonium to nitrate. And this process here sometimes is called Chemomox for complete ammonium oxidation. So in COMAMOX, NH4 plus is an electron donor for complete oxidation to nitrate. Another pathway takes ammonium back to nitrogen gas. Typically it's done via nitrate, and this is called ANAMOX. In ANAMOX, let's put a note down here, ANAMOX stands for anoxic ammonium oxidation. In ANAMOX, ammonium serves as an electron donor. Is an E- donor. And it gets reduced back to nitrogen gas via nitrite. Nitrite. As a reduction process. And that is a type of chemolithotrophy again. Chemolithotrophy. But we're not quite done yet. As you notice, there's this whole space here where nitrate can actually be used by some organisms as a source of nitrogen, because it's already, in an organic state. It's already pretty labile. So here we have assimilatory nitrate reduction. Where nitrate is a nitrogen source to produce biomass, to produce nucleic acids and amino acids. And many genera of microbes can do this. There is also a process of what is known as dissimilatory nitrate reduction. And in dissimilatory nitrate reduction, this process is also called denitrification. And in denitrification, nitrate is just converted back into nitrogen gas, N2. So assimilatory, think it's being assimilated into biomass. Dissimilatory, it is not being assimilated. It's doing the opposite. It's just being turned back into the nitrogen that we have in our atmosphere. And some denitrification goes directly to nitrogen gas. It can also be done converting into nitrous oxide, which can then be turned back into nitrogen gas. So I haven't given you a whole lot of details on the organisms that perform these functions, but this does kind of give you a sense of how the species of nitrogen kind of move through the atmosphere into the biosphere and then back into the atmosphere through changing different redox states. Okay, is that all I gotta tell you right now? I think it is.